Hello everybody, thank you for tuning into Motorsport Factory once again. We are working on a 97 Nissan Altima today, and this time on this vehicle I want to target the PCV valve replacement. And I know a lot of you guys out there are probably struggling with how to get to the PCV valve, and I know I've been there and it's a pain in the butt. So the other thing is, what I want to discuss with you guys is a lot of forums are always talking about either removing the intake manifold or removing the power steering pump and whatnot, which I really think is a little bit too much more work than it needs to be. Yes, I do agree with some of you guys that probably wonder why they didn't make it on the valve cover like it usually is on a lot of cars, which would be a lot easier to do. I mean, I don't really care how it's designed, if it's a screw-on type or just, plug it in. My thing is just the area that they put it in was a little bit difficult, but so the thing is, how I'm going to go about doing this is actually removing the idle air control valve, which is just right in that area. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to take it out from there. I'm not actually going to show you in this video how to go about taking the idle air control valve out. I'm going to post a link because I made a video of it in previous time as far as how to remove it. So you can watch that video and see how it's removed, and then we'll get to the PCV valve. So I'm just going to go over the PCV valve in this case. So when you get to the idle control valve, once you have it removed, you'll see how easy it is actually to get to the PCV valve right after that. You'll have a lot more room to work with, and it's going to be less of a pain to deal with. You're not going to be spending 3 to 4 hours. Totally, we're probably spending maybe 30 minutes to an hour max. But with this video, that I'm making, I'm spending a little bit more time than I need to be. But I'm only doing this for you guys to make it easy for you to remove the idle air control valve and the PCV valve. All right. So I'm going to stop the video here for a moment and then remove the idle air control valve, and then I'll get back to you guys in just a moment. All right. All right, guys. So we are back with the got the PCV valve off. So that's where the PCV valve is. Sorry, I had to kind of make some editing on this video. So what you want to first do, I removed the oil filter block, and then I moved the idle air valve out of the way, and then the PCV valve is about a 19 millimeter. That's what you'll need. So the hose is getting brittle, so I am taking that off. I'm actually going to use a fuel line type of hose instead of a regular the vacuum line hose. The other thing I wanted to add into the idle air control valve removal procedure, before I had an issue removing this clamp on this area right here, but when I realized I could have removed the oil filter block, then had more access to it. So I wasn't thinking about it then, but at the same time I'm going to replace this hose as well. Instead of using regular vacuum hoses, I'm going to be using like the coolant hoses and the fuel line hoses for the vacuum lines too, because they'll last longer, they have more flexibility, and they won't be as brittle and stuff like that. So so that's what you need to do. This is just my way of going about it. Let me see what else. Yeah, you ain't got to worry about doing all that power steering stuff and taking the intake manifold off. The hose right there where you see it's broken, it's a little bit if you have the right tool, a good needle nose plier, you'll probably be able to make it in there. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get the other broken piece off, so I can get the rest of it off. And if you'll probably notice too that the hoses go all the way to the end where the hex is. So I'm gonna just kind of make it halfway to that, so that way, like the next time I need to replace it, I can just back it out without like causing too much stress on the hose. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and replace this hose, and then the other vacuum line for the PCV valve. But like I said, just remove the oil filter block, and the bolts are about 12 millimeter, and then it'll should just slide right off. So you have more clearance to take this off. And in my other video, I'm going to make that note as well, so people have an easier time taking this hose off. That should do the trick. And then once I get the hose off and everything, looks like I got some cracks on that knock sensor. May want to just replace that anyway. That sounds like a good idea. What do you guys think? It's not giving me a code or anything, but it might be an issue as well. But yeah, that's it. And then just slap the new one on, and this is the new one. And then but put a new hose on at the same time. You know, while you're down here, you know, inspect all your other hoses and see how they go, and you should be good to go after that. All right. Okay, everybody. I got all my stuff back on. Got my idle air valve back on. I just need to put the oil filter block back on. And I'm just double checking all my connections, things, especially the things that I took off. It's always a good thing to know. I'm going to hold off on the knock sensor for right now, because it's not giving me a code, so I'm not going to worry about that. So let's review real quick. When you're taking this off, take the oil filter block off. Then you'll have easier access to this hose. Then you could just follow the rest of the steps of the idle air valve control removal on my other video, and then you'll have a cleaner access to that PCV valve. If you guys can see, and then that PCV is a 19 millimeter open end box end wrench. You just got to move that hose out of the way. And in my case, I replaced the hose too, because it's hard and brittle and it was breaking off on me anyway. That should hopefully be it. And I just, got the idle air valve. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. If I missed anything, you guys, I do apologize. Just let me know in the comment section if I'm missing something. And I'll try to correct that as I can. Other than that, this should conclude the video for this tutorial. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will be back in a little bit after I finish buttoning up everything, and then I'll probably talk to you guys about a few more things if I can. Alright guys, so we are officially done putting this PCV valve back together. One of the things I forgot to mention, I want to review with you guys is, since I couldn't really point it out very clearly, when you're putting on the new PCV valve, this is up to you guys how you guys want to go about doing it. The original hose goes all the way to the end to this hex, right? So it was a little bit difficult to take off. So what I did was made it a little bit shorter. So what I'm going to do is it's only going to be in like halfway. So the next time I have to replace it, I can just back it off without putting too much stress on the hose as it's backing off, and then just put the new one on. And yeah, this PCV valve, it's not wiggling as much. When I push the spring in, it'll work, but it seems like it's kind of clogged up in there. So it's a good thing I replaced it. Like I said, if anybody tells you, my thing is, these are serviceable parts. These need to be serviced. If people tell you, or shops tell you that you don't need to be serviced, I'm just gonna have to disagree with that. So I did my oil change, and I'm gonna put some coolant in, and I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up and see how she runs. But this should conclude the tutorial of the PCV valve, and I'm hoping that this tutorial was helpful to you guys. And sorry I wasn't too detailed with this video, I just had so much going on to do, but this should at least give you the idea of how to go about doing it versus taking the intake manifold off and or the power steering. And because if you take it to a shop, they're going to charge you probably like $500-600 to take the intake manifold off, and then by the time you're done doing all that, you might as well have changed all those hoses back there, also the knock sensor, and what you name it, you know. But this is the alternative way of going about doing it. I hope you guys like it, and I really hope this is more helpful to you guys than the other ways that are out there. And again, please join my Facebook page, rate, like this video, subscribe to my channel, join my Facebook page. The thing is, like on my Facebook page, like I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I'm going to definitely have stuff on my Facebook page that you won't see on YouTube, and on top of like my site being built as well. You can buy magnetic drain plugs there right now. I'm also working on, I actually have stud kits, exhaust manifold stud kits for the Hondas and as well as the Mitsubishi Eclipses. I'll be working on other stud kits and other hardwares and accessories and performance parts as well. I'm just trying to do one thing at a time. So thanks again for watching the video, guys, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. All right, you guys have a good one.